Imagine a vast sea of sand, a barren desert stretching to the horizon. Then in its center, a glowing pit of fire, a roaring, burning crater that has been alight for decades. Welcome to the so-called door to hell, the Darvaza Gas Crater, in Turkmenistan's Karakum desert. In today's video, we'll explore how it formed, why it's still burning, how it became a tourist attraction in the 2010s, and what the future might hold. Let's step closer to the fire. The Darvaza Gas Crater lies in the heart of the Karakum Desert in north-central Turkmenistan, about 260 kilometers north of the capital, Ashgabat. It's remote, desolate, harsh, daytime heat, freezing nights, nothing much around except the desert and the endless sky. The village of Darvaza, also Derviz in some sources, lies nearby, and its name in Turkmen actually means gate or door. The crater is large, roughly 60 mm to 70 meter, about 200-230 ft across, and around 30 m deep. At night, the flames make it look like a portal to another world. The story begins in the Soviet era. Around 1971, geologists drilling for gas in the desert tapped into an underground cavern filled with natural gas. The ground collapsed beneath the drill site, creating a sinkhole-like crater. Because the escaping gas posed a hazard to nearby villages, methane and other gases can be toxic or cause suffocation, the engineers decided to set the crater on fire. The logic was simple: burn off the gas safely. They expected the fire to die down in a few days or weeks. Instead, the flames have burned ever since, for over 5 decades. Some alternative accounts suggest the collapse happened in the 1960s and was only ignited in the 1980s. The exact timeline remains somewhat unclear. The crater thus became colloquially known as the door to hell or gates of hell. Locals were struck by the otherworldly sight, fire roaring in the middle of an empty desert. So what keeps the fire burning? Simple but dramatic geology. Natural gas, mostly methane, leaks from the surrounding rock into the crater. Since oxygen is available from the atmosphere, the leaking gas ignites, producing thousands of little flames across the crater floor and walls. The structure is really a collapsed cavern or sinkhole rather than a volcanic crater. The walls are vertical in places, and talus rockfall from the rim slopes down to the floor. Because the gas supply has been sustained, the fire has kept burning. Moreover, the heat is intense. Standing too close to the edge can feel dangerous. The roar of the flames audible, the heat radiating outward. It's a vivid natural geologic spectacle, but with a human element. The collapse, the ignition, the decades-long flame. In the 2010s, the crater began to draw more attention as a tourism attraction. The government of Turkmenistan recognized it as a draw. In 2013, the area was designated a nature reserve, the region including the crater. Tourists began traveling here, often via 4x4 vehicles, staying overnight in desert yurts, traditional felt tents near the crater, and watching the flames after dusk. One travel site notes, during the nighttime, you can see the reddish light of the flame from the distance. Despite the remoteness, the crater became perhaps the country's top tourist attraction for those seeking something truly out there. That said, getting there isn't trivial. The final few hundred meters may require a sandy off-road track. Basic amenities exist, yurts, simple toilets, but this is still the desert. For your viewers, imagine camping in a remote desert. At night, the only glow is this roaring pit of fire. The stars overhead, the silence of sand and wind, only broken by the crackle and roar of the flames. That's part of the allure. A few interesting side notes. In 2013, Canadian explorer George Kourounis descended into the bottom of the crater with full protective gear, collecting soil samples for scientific research into extreme environments. The crater is also known officially as the Shining of Karakum, Turkmen Garagam Alchemy. While it's mesmerizing, it also raises environmental and safety questions. Is it safe? According to tour info, no tourist has reportedly fallen in. The site is fenced to a degree. It also acts as a reminder of how human activity, drilling, collapse, can trigger long-lasting geological phenomena. While for years it seemed this burning pit would last indefinitely, recent reports suggest change. The government of Turkmenistan has considered extinguishing the crater, citing environmental and health concerns and the desire to capture the methane gas rather than burn it off. In 2025 reports noted that the fire's area has diminished. Some say the size of active flames is now reduced to perhaps 1/3 of what it was. This raises questions. Will the crater remain a major tourist draw? If the flames go out, will it lose its dramatic door-to-hell appeal? Should visitors rush now? Some travel sources indeed urge, see it while it lasts. From a narration point of view, you can frame it as a moment in time, capturing a unique phenomenon before it changes. For your audience, if they are adventurous travelers, best to visit at dusk, night. The fire effect is strongest after dark, with the glowing pit contrasting the desert night. Stay overnight if possible. Yurt camps are available near the site. Use a 4x4 vehicle for the desert track. Bring warm clothes, desert nights are cold, and be prepared for basic amenities. Respect safety, stay behind fences or guardrails, stay clear of the crater edge, heat is intense. For filming, capture the crater during daylight to show scale and location, and at night to show the flames. Use drone or elevated angle if possible. Check local regulations. For narration, include the sense of isolation, the roar of the fire, the desert environment. It's not just about the crater, it's about context, the emptiness around, the glow from the pit, the sense of being in a place other than everyday life. Consider the before and after angle, how it looked in earlier years, how tourism developed in the 2010s, and how possibly the phenomenon may fade. That creates narrative tension. So why does this place resonate so strongly? Because it combines multiple layers. Visual drama, a massive burning crater in the middle of a desert at night is hard to forget. Human story, drilling, collapse, ignition, decades of fire. A mistake turned into wonder. Nature and geology, gas leaks, desert environment, geology of sinkholes. It's both raw and instructive. Tourist story, once remote, now known, once perhaps transient, now iconic, especially in the 2010s. Change in time. The notion that even this seemingly eternal fire may one day go out adds urgency and poignancy. For a relationship-oriented channel like yours, you might draw metaphorical parallels. A pit of fire that started by accident, expected to burn out, but instead enduring, drawing people in. What does that say about passion? What does it say about consequences of ignition we didn't intend? Without being too heavy, these linking ideas may give your video deeper resonance. As the fire continues to burn, or as we might say, as the door to hell remains ajar, the Darvaza Gas Crater stands as a testament to unexpected consequences, to nature's resilience, and to our desire to witness the extraordinary. If you ever find yourself in Turkmenistan's Karakum desert, perhaps you'll sit on the edge of this glowing pit of flame, under a canopy of stars, and feel for a moment that you're looking into something both ancient and fragile. If you enjoyed this journey, please like and subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Leave a comment. Would you visit a burning crater in the desert? Why or why not? And if you've been there, share your story. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep exploring the doorways that invite us to look deeper. From the shifting sands of the Karakum desert, from the glow of a pit that has burned for generations, we bid farewell. Stay curious, stay safe, and keep finding meaning in the unexpected.